Yo, what's good, guys? So today's video, plain and simple. Normally I put up my pendulum decks. You already know me. I put up 5 negates, 6 negates, hand traps, or whatever. But this deck is a little bit different. The deck I'm bringing to you guys today is pendulum graph based, and it's not just pendulum graph based. It is a Patreon video for Adam Theus. He's been a long time Patreon, long time fan. He's a big supporter of mine. I do appreciate and respect you a lot. Thank you very much for your support. It's going to be a different deck for you. Instead of putting up 5, 6 negates, it's getting boring. 6 negates pass. It's getting boring. I had another idea. What happens if they break those negates? What do you do, right? So what happens if your opponent just absolutely busted? What if your negates don't do anything against their deck? What if fogboys don't do anything, etc., etc.? So a new style of the deck. Again, 99.9% of the time, it's auto victory, the 6 negates. But this is a different style of deck. Utilizing the pendulum graphs, instead of putting up a board, instead putting up a hand. So after your first turn, you're going to go +6, +7 after your first turn. Put up 3 interruptions. And then OTK them next turn with the 5 cards in your hand. So that's the style of this deck. I'm not going to showcase to you guys. I'll show you guys the deck list in another video. But I'm going to showcase to you guys. This is just theory behind this version. The pendulum graph version that utilizes time graph and the time graph and the star graph in order to ensure you're going to plus a lot, not get OTK. That's the main part. And utilize Time Star Magician. I think Time Star Magician is extremely underrated. And I'm going to show you guys another tech that I use in the deck to ensure that every single turn you're not going to get OTK'd. You are not going to get OTK'd. Guaranteed. And the next turn you're going to OTK them with Boral Load and Boral Sword. So I'm going to showcase you guys now the style of the deck. And we're going to do 2 random hands in a row. The first hand is going to have the trap in our hand. The second hand is going to have the spell in our hand. And maybe we're going to search the others. Maybe we're going to draw the other. Just to showcase to you guys the power and utility you can use in this deck. The pendulum graphs are extremely underrated. It's both of them, the spell and the trap. It's going to showcase you guys why exactly. The way I built this deck as well is very different. It's nothing like the other decks I built. We took out all the Mythical Beast Cerberuses, but we left 1 Jackal. The 1 Jackal's in there for utility reasons, to send it in case of a hand trap, and to add it with Time Star, and to add Chronograph with Electrum to your hand, to be able to, after you do your combo, to Chronograph Jackal on field. I'm going to showcase you guys exactly what I mean. And we only play 1 Chronograph now. We play so many turbo cards in here anyways, we don't need it. And Chronograph in itself is an overrated card. It does sound like a great card in theory. It getting limited to 1 in the OCG didn't matter whatsoever. Just -2 turbo cards. Chronograph's not the best card in the deck. It's just another turbo card. It's literally a curtain raiser. There's nothing special about Chronograph. Having 1 is all you need whatsoever to have the searchability of it. So now we're going to showcase you guys an average hand. Victor, the cameraman for the day, would you like to please cut the deck? And we're going to showcase you guys now a completely average hand, random hand. With this in hand, we're going to open up the trap to start and 4 cards. Even if we don't open a turbo card, that's fine. Like, okay, so we have pen called Dark World, that's fine. It's whatever, like, we're gonna send that. We're not gonna showcase you guys. There's like, you're gonna draw hands, like, this isn't the, like, it's a good hand, but it's not like the best hand in the planet. Now, pen call, Dark World, Wisdom's gonna be used as a pendulum call, but that's totally fine. We might even just treat it as a high skill in the situation. So we're gonna add Harmonizing and Oath Dragon. Typically what you're gonna add all the time, you're gonna summon out Dark World and then get the gate 0. This hand plays around literally every single hand trap. Even though the pendulum call got ashed, we had more than enough utility and resources to still put up a good board and not get and then put up still a lot of cards in hand to win the following turn. So with pendulum graph, what you want to do, we have pendulum call and pendulum graph, which means now that even though you don't need Time Star to protect your scales, it's still good to go into Time Star. I'm going to show you guys why later on. But I'm going to upstart now, draw. We got Curtain Raiser. And next we're going to simply just normal summon. We're going to normal Curtain Raiser. Doesn't matter what we normal. And we're going to go into our Electrum. Electrum effect, sending basically what we want in the situation, whatever we want. We're going to send Jackal. I want Jackal in our hands here. Actually, I'm going to send a Harmonizing. I don't want Jackal yet. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why. So we're going to send a Harmonizing to be able to add it with Oath. But first we're going to... Actually, we pop. No, sorry about that. We don't do that. Sorry. So this is a very intricate way of playing this. But we're going to send Jackal. There's a reason why. There's a reason to everything here. But we're going to send Jackal. And we're going to put gate 0. And we're going to pop the gate 0. And we're going to add the... No, I was right. We said Harmonizing. We're going to pop the gate 0, And we're going to add anything but harmonizing because Oath and harmonizing is going to add back to harmonizing. So we're going to add back the Dark War. Actually, we might even add back the 0 in itself. We're going to add back the 0, and I'll explain why in a bit. We're just going to pop 0 and add 0. You don't want, you do not want to pendulum anything from your extract but level 4s. We don't play Vortex. The whole build is level rank 4 centric. I'm going to show you guys why. So, whatever doesn't matter what we draw. Okay, so we drew the Jackal, that's a coincidence. We're going to go Oath Dragon, harmonizing, add the harmonizing. So the trap card, you got to remember this. The trap card is already going to pop 2 cards on the field because of Pendulum Call, already. So it doesn't matter more so on what your board's going to be because you're going to be protected by the trap card. That's why the trap card is fantastic. Pops 2 cards. So you don't want to summon too much in your hand. You want to more so save your hand for link materials for the following turn. So you're going to summon the Dark Room and the Curtain Raiser. We're going to summon the Harmonizing. And at this point, we hard drew the Jackal. But like I said it didn't matter what you drew. So just to prove a point, we're just going to keep the Jackal in our hand. Because obviously we're going to summon it in this situation, but you don't know you're going to draw the Jackal. It's an interruption in itself. Just going to keep it in hand just to showcase you guys what I'm talking about. Harmonizing effect's not going to trigger. Bring out literally just any magician. Usually I bring out Wisdom Eye Harmonizing because of the style of the deck, and I'll show you guys the deck list later. But here's 3 Wisdom Eyes, so you're never going to run out, and you want to save the 1-loves in your deck just for utility purposes. Next up, we're going to go into whatever rank 4 we want. Probably Evil Storm Nightmare is the best rank 4 for that. And now, here's what we're going to do. Instead of Oath, we're going to put gate 0 here, okay? And we're not even going to go into Nightmare. I'm going to show you guys something. We're going to go into Tornado Dragon. Why? Because you're not always going to draw Pendulum Call. Pendulum Call is a fantastic card. For this situation, we're going Pendulum Call and Oath Dragon. And then we're synchroing with these into a Synchro 8 interruption. Or bring out Time Gazer to go Dragster. And then we're going to add back with Oath Dragon. But you're not always going to draw Pendulum Call. So I want to showcase you guys the utility of the trap and on the spell to be able to utilize so much regardless. So we're going to keep the gate 0, put the gate 0 on the scale. We're going to go Tornado Dragon and Time Star. Time Star, we're going to search Chronograph from our deck. Now we have the Chronograph and Jackal, but if we didn't have it, we'll just search literally anything. Pretend we didn't draw the Jackal. We're going to draw a Harmonizing for next turn. See what I mean by follow-up right here? We have all scales, all negates. We're going to literally pin something that we'll do the exact same thing we do this turn. Next turn as well. Literally the exact same thing. Now here's where it gets super cool. We're going to activate Tornado Dragon on gate 0, utilizing Time Star's effect to protect gate 0. We did use Pendulum Call, but Pendulum Call protects the Magicians, not this. But in the situation where we didn't draw Pendulum Call, and we have like an Oath Dragon or whatever, you can't Tornado a Pen Call anyways and then resolve this, because you're not going to get destroyed anyways. But just showcasing you guys what would happen if, you know, regardless of Pendulum Call or not. So we're going to send Fairy Tale Snow. Now, just like that, look at this. Yeah, we drew the Jackal, so we had another interruption on top, but even if we didn't. So we have 1 interruption in Tornado Dragon, 2 interruptions in Pendulum Graph, because this will equal 2, and then 1 in Snow. Now, if you look at your graveyard, we play a bunch of spells for Snow. We have 4, activate 2 spells, that's a low count. Typically, I'll activate a little more, but that's fine. 2 spells. We have 4 in grave, so that means the second one of your XYZs go to grave, you activate Snow as well. So the second you use Tornado Dragon's effect, which you're gonna use it early on, obviously, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you now have 6 cards and then 1 random card, like a Time Star, Electro, whatever. So Snow's always gonna resolve. So just like that, you're literally gonna have, and your skills are getting protected by Time Star's effect. So even though you're not putting up a crazy board, like I said, it's a different style of the deck. Look at your hand. You have a 4-card hand. Snow's gonna take care of another interruption. So you have 2 interruption, 3 interruption, 4 interruption with a 4-card hand. Scale's protected by Time Star. If they somehow leave you, draw with Electrum and Dark Room and Grave. And you're drawing a 5th card, and like, look at your hand. This hand's insane. Like, you literally have the exact same following turn, and the extra deck is built to ensure that every turn is gonna be like this. Every turn is gonna, like, we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We play 8 rank 4s. The whole deck's based off rank 4s. If they're not a rank 4, you typically don't want to summon it. It's just link material at that point. So there's so much utility in here to ensure that you're not getting OTK'd thanks to the Pendulum Graphs and Snow. So you're not getting OTK'd, and your follow-up's insane, absolutely insane. Like, it's nuts. So that's an average turn with the trap pendulum graph. We still ended up with that much plussing with the trap pendulum graph. I'm gonna showcase you guys how the spell pendulum graph's insane. Again, just showing you guys how the pendulum graphs are really good, man. They're absolutely underrated. I do not give the pendulum graphs enough credit. You don't even need a high magician count. You really don't. I play triple wisdom eye, triple harmonizing, and one of each. That's it. In fact, I don't even play one. Like, I play one purple, one black fang, one gazer, one oath dragon, and that's it. 10 magician, 6 pendulum calls. Like, you're gonna draw magician regardless. And one chronograph, because chronograph is gonna equal the time gazer. I might up the chronograph to 3, but you do not need enough turbo cards, and you do not, believe me, having because the way the extra deck is, to be able to put up 2 rank 4s every single turn with a land for Locus as well. So you always put up 2 rank 4s and a Boil Sword, depending on what you want your thing to be. You do the exact same turn every turn. So you see how we plus there? Where after the second turn, we're putting up the exact same board in the second turn. Because typical with pendulums right now, after the first turn, it runs out of gas after Electrum's gone. But like this, no way. Like this is just insane. You put up literally the exact same board every time. I showcased you guys how the trap was great. Now I'm going to showcase you guys how this card is great. We're going to draw Foolish, Pendulum Card Lord, Shrine. So typically you're going to draw, like I said, we play so many spells. We cut the deck to 40 cards. So you guys remember I said I played 25 spells in the 60 card deck? It's almost like we're playing like 20 spells at this point with 20 monsters. So the monster card's not that big, but all you need is for the turn 1 and turn 2. And desires doesn't matter. Like if you banish whatever it is, like it doesn't matter whatsoever. I'm gonna showcase you guys how you're gonna play out this hand. So off the bat, you're gonna shrine in hopes that they ash. This is the most ashable card in the deck. Foolish, Shrine, anything like that. There's getting ash for sure because you replace yourself with a 0 and you get a free card on the field, which is absolutely insane. But that's getting ashed. If it does get ash, trigger Foolish Burial. So this hand plays through any ash easily right now. So Foolish into gate 0, and Ash or Bell are the most played cards right now. So anyways, plays through them easily. Next, we want to see what we're gonna draw into. So we're gonna allure right now. Maybe we're gonna draw something nice. See what we can get. So Mr. Cameraman, would you like to cut, please? We're gonna activate allure. Maybe we draw into Abductor, get some use out of these spells, extra use. So we draw an Alliance and a Shrine. So that sucks. We went through three Foolishes this turn, but that's totally fine. We're gonna get rid of the gate 0. Now we have access to the other trap, which is fantastic. Now I'm gonna showcase you guys why the spell is fantastic. So we're gonna Pendulum Call the Shrine. Oh, it's getting ash. No chance. Like the Shrine's getting ash. If anyone does not ash a Shrine against Pendulums, they're absolutely stupid. Like they're absolutely dumb. We're gonna go Harmonizing.
So you're calling me stupid, eh?
Oh yeah. No, my bad. Funny story. I was facing Victor. The camera. I was facing him. BA versus Pendulums. I 2-0 match him, by the way. Anyways,
you still lost that game.
Anyways, and he did it. My hand was. I really wanted it. I actually had a Shrine and a Foolish, and he didn't ash my Shrine when he really should have. I was like, wow, how on earth is he not ashing my Shrine? And then it really cucked me badly because he was thinking. I read he had ash because he was thinking about it. And he didn't do it. I'm like, oh my god, Victor, you idiot! Please ash it. And it was his misplay actually won him the game.
Because I knew it. I read you like a book, man.
Oh, okay. Maybe it wasn't a misplay then because it worked out. So maybe it was actually just a genius pro play there. So, anyways, normally you're gonna ash it. So Pendulum Call, gonna get our Harmonizing, and it's gonna get Wisdom Eye. Oh, we Pendulum Call. No, we're gonna get our high scale right here. So we're gonna get Black Fang. Next, we're gonna activate the Pendulum Graph. And we're gonna normal summon the Harmonizer. We're gonna put them go into Electro. I wish that the spell wasn't mandatory to chain block for the Harmonizing, but it is mandatory. So chilling 1, chilling 2, you're guaranteed to get your scale, and you're gonna be adding back to Harmonizing and getting a plus and a plus, and then another plus up Oath Dragon. That's why I love it because it ensures you're getting the plus up Oath Dragon, so that you're getting a plus, like so many pluses off it right now. Again, you want to end with a lot of cards in hand. So we're gonna activate Electrum. At this point, we're gonna send Jackal, and this will trigger to get Oath Dragon. We're not gonna be able to get the draw off Electrum just because we drew all Magicians and we have to banish the gate 0. But that's totally fine because we're just gonna pop this. So Oath Dragon, Black Fang, another use for it. You get a plus and then pop it if you really need to. We're gonna add the Harmonizing to our hands. Then we're gonna activate Electrum. Oh, actually, we don't need to activate Electrum because we already got 2 there. So we're gonna activate Electrum will be for no use. So we're gonna not activate Electrum yet at this point. There's no need for it. Actually, let me think about this one. This tough situation. Yeah, there's no need for it whatsoever. So we're just gonna save the Electrum effect. We're gonna activate Duelist Alliance, get the trap card. And now we're gonna Pendulum Summon. 1, 2. Harmonizing. We're gonna summon this. And now this is why I don't like Jackal. Because we're playing a bunch of 4s. You don't get to go into the 2 rank 4s that you want to. You know what I mean? So that's a little unfortunate situation there. But what we're gonna do is totally fine. We're still gonna go into poison like that. It's okay. I'm gonna show you guys why it's okay. So we're gonna go. Let me see here. Yeah, you know what? We don't send the Jackal. I want to showcase you guys something new here. We're gonna, instead of Jackal. Yeah, you know, whatever. I hate doing that, but that's totally fine. Whatever. I prefer rank 4 plays, but it's totally fine. So we're gonna go into that. We're gonna XYZ. One sec, actually. Let me think about this. Yeah, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna Electrum pop the Pendulum Graph to add the Dark Worm. We're not gonna summon it from the extra deck. Then we're gonna just XYZ like this. Just create the space and get a free plus. Pendulum Graph's not gonna be necessary at that point. And this point we're gonna go into Time Star. Again, interruptions are not that important with the Pendulum Graph. You just want to mainly focus on plussing. So we're going to detach the Purple Poison to have Black Fang bring it up next turn. You get another plus for yourself. And just like that, you got 4 cards in hand, or 3 cards in hand. You got the best follow-up in terms of the pendulum, the harmonizing. This hand ended up not being so good because you're getting draw off this, etc. But you get to send Snow next turn by protecting Scales with Time Star, or protecting this with Time Star, but just protecting your monsters in general with Time Star, sending Snow. So you're gonna have next turn after you protect your Jackal, you're gonna end up having a Snow. So with Bear spells engraved, why we play so many spells. The Pendulum Graph popping 2 cards and Jackal negating a monster. And next turn, you're going to be adding with Oak Dragon. You're going to be drawing a card. You're going to be, so that's another Pendulum call. You're going to be summoning back Black Fang, harmonizing for another Synchro play with Ignis, etc. And you're going to OTK them. So with that plus, and we didn't even add with times, or we did harmonizing. But with these plus, you see what I mean by pluses now. This deck pluses like crazy. It was a little messy there, but you end up just plussing a lot. And having the Snow engraved by the Time Star allows you to have 1 interruption, 2 interruption by the Pendulum Graph, and 1 by Jackal. Pendulum Graphs are way better than I thought. And Adam Theus, bro, when you first told me to do a video on Pendulum Graphs, I was like, or 2 videos, I'm like, bro, Pendulum Graphs suck. How am I gonna do this? And then actually thinking about it, you really opened my eyes. Pendulum Graphs are actually amazing. They're highly underrated. I do recommend people play them in their deck, especially if they play High Magician Count. I personally do not play High Magician Count, but in a 40 card deck, I do recommend playing 1 Pendulum Graph with Triple Alliance. It's amazing. The spell card's good as well, but the Pendulum Graph, the trap one itself, is even better. Because Time Star will give you pluses, but it's only good if you play the Snow. Because the Snow gives you another interruption that the Time Star, but the XYZ the Time Star doesn't give you. So the interruption Time Star gives you is a second off the Pendulum Graph, and it gives you a free Snow, and it gives you a plus as a follow-up for next turn. Like, if we even, like, another cool play to do is adding Chronograph or Jackal with Electrum, keeping it in your hand, Time Star add the other one, and then on their turn, when one of your interruptions get destroyed, you special out the Chronograph and the Jackal. So you have even another interruption, and you're still gonna have lots of cards in hand in order to ensure that you don't get OTK'd. So that was the Pendulum Graph profile. Next video, I'm gonna showcase you guys the deck list. I recommend this build for those people who don't want to think, oh, how do I put up 5 negates? How do I put up 6 negates? It's tough to put up 5, 6 negates. And those that like resources and want to know that you can play next turn, those that love resource management, and those who loves just having cards in hand, I do recommend play this version. Every single at the end of your first turn, you're gonna have 3 interruptions, always, and you're always gonna have 4 cards in hand. So the style of it is just saving cards in hand. Just the interruptions are a little less good. Instead of negates, you have interruptions. That makes sense. So instead of negates, you have like Tornado Dragon, Snow, and Pendulum Graph Trap popping for 2, which is more than enough not to get OTK'd. So check it out if you guys like. I'm gonna put the deck list up in a few days. I just hope you guys like the video. Make sure to check out Game Nation. Link in the description below. Use Pendgraph 5 for 5% off all your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And make sure to subscribe, boys, because at 13,000 subscribers, we're doing a crazy giveaway. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out my Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.